Double checking if you can hear me. Is there talking? Very glad that you're okay and to see you too. Hi. Yeah, we're alright. I just needed a minute. I'm gonna turn the comments off because I just need to get this out. We don't have that much time right now, so I'm just gonna turn the comments off and then I'll turn them back on a little bit, okay? Cool. Hi, Janice. Hey, Jeanette. Don't judge me. He didn't do that either. So, dear Jesus, we just thank you for this day. God, I thank you for this breath in our body. I thank you for keeping us safe, God. Whatever is your will, God, we just ask that it's done. And even though a weapon can form, God, we just stand on your word that no weapon formed shall prosper. And we just thank you for everything you're doing in the process of progress, Jesus. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. Can you screen record, please? Am I screen recording for me? Can y'all still hear me? On IG? You could just give me a little... Okay, you can. Cool. Thank you. Alright. If you're screen recording, hi. My name is Allison Leilani Carter. And yes, that is my legal name. I changed my name forever ago when that little girl in me died forever ago. Okay? I'm very proud of that. If nothing comes from anything, the justice that I got from changing my last name, gold. Anywho, we don't have that much time, so I'm going to spit something out real quick, okay? There are some people that are using survivors' pain for gain. We went live a few days ago, and it was a lot for me because I am drowning in some of my PTSD. The survivors the real ones that you see, it's really hard to tell you guys what's going on. It's really hard to get dogpiled on with threats and witchcraft. It's hard to deal with the celebrity mentality of some people. When I feel like I'm screaming underwater, hey, can we just focus on saving the children? My message has never been just about me. It's about crimes against humanity. It's not political. It's not religious. Everybody can agree that no one should be brutally tortured, held against their will, and it damn sure shouldn't be children, right? So we can all agree on that, okay? I needed a minute because it was just too much. There's times when it's just too much. And I will always fight. I will never stop. I made a promise that I will take to my grave, and that was, if I got out, if somebody got out, bring an army back. And I am trying my damn best to do just that. But me and my mom are doing exactly what we can do, and that's trying our best and trying everything that we can do in our power. And at this point, we have turned to the people, because this has been going on for my life since I was 3 months old. So we turned to y'all, and we're like, here's the information. Now, I decided to release an affidavit on P. Diddy. You guys know that there's only a few excerpts that are out. It is a 4 to 5 page long. I told you it's 4.5, so it's the 5th page is a half. Okay, so I told you guys how long that affidavit is. I've only released excerpts. Why there's somebody with a really big following and a really big platform that put their watermark on it. They took it and they put their watermark on it and said that there's 149 pages of this affidavit that they have of mine, and they're debating on releasing it. If you see something like that, this is why we keep saying people are using our pain for their gain. No one is making money. The only person that's making money, that's not making money off of my story, is me. There are so many people who are retrending, re-putting out my information, and then they're asking you for money for it, or their followers for money for it, because their followers don't know any better as far as that. So if you see this, what I'm talking about, please call that person out and tell them to release it or stop lying. And then I'm going to say that I've been used as stink bait. We've been speaking for a while. I know some of you are new to my story, but we've been speaking for a while. And now, a lot of people are really pushing my story because it's trending for them. This is not news to me, and it's not news to some of you that have been on here for a really long time, and I appreciate you. It's not news to y'all. You're just like, finally, we're here, right? For some of you who just got here, thank you. But I've been speaking for a very long time, and so has my mom. My mom was speaking before me. Okay, I wasn't ready yet. Now, what's scary is there's other survivors, there's real survivors that is trying their best to say, okay, maybe I'll start speaking. I look at all these survivors with platforms, and I back up from them. If we throw it in 6, we see something that we're not going to say just yet. We're waiting for other people to see it. As far as where they stand, we're not going to mudsling. We're not going to start backbiting. We're not going to start putting up posts that distract you from the message of the children. We're not going to do that because that's detouring you from the reality. So there's people who mudsling and undo all these things, and we're just like, nope, that can't be real. Because if it was real and you know the depth of what we're talking about, you wouldn't be doing all that. You ain't got time for that. It's soul-sucking already to do what we're doing. It's exhausting to already keep the integrity that we hold. So you wouldn't be able to do all that back and forth bullshit if you're telling the truth. Okay? So now people are retrending my stuff, and they're asking for money. Or they're saying that they have information that they do not. My voice is not for sale, just the way I'm not either. Okay? My voice is not for sale, which is why some of these interviews we will not take. Some podcasts we won't take. Some mics we won't take, because my voice is not for sale. I am not doing events that they're charging people to sit at a table. I'm not doing merch and movies and making things that people need to buy. Get your ass up and outside for children that could be yours. That's it, and that's all. Now we're getting mixed up in this celebrity mentality. Some people are saying that I was in the Run This Town video with Jay-Z in 2009. Now I'm going to tell you that when my mom finally showed me the picture, I had to double take. My mom had to double take. A few people called me and was like, is this you? And at first we were like, no, Bro was not in a music video in 2009. I was going through hell in 2009. So at first I was like, no, it's not. Looked at the picture and I was like, oof, okay, let's talk about it. I'm still not saying that I for sure know that that's me. But what I am saying is I do have dissociative identity disorder. And some of you have met some of our alters. Some of you met us. Some of you 90s have sat with us. Legally, you have looked at my diagnosis from a doctor that has been there for years. The diagnosis was passed around the building, so this is not something that we're just like, I just Googled it and that's what happened. No, for the trauma that I have been through, I have a lot of alters. And sometimes even when I get in the grocery store, if I'm trying to buy something, there will be people that look at me. I just got it the other day when I got off the live with you guys. I walked into a grocery store or something and somebody was like, how old are you? You look 13. I was like, nah, I'm 30. But somebody else was up. Okay? So if you understand what dissociative identity disorder is, you're watching it with a lot of regular, everyday people. I think it's a big scale for everyday people. But for celebrities, you see it a lot. You even hear it called out with people like Nicki Minaj, Roman, the Barbs. She even talks different. Her eyes move different. Her features are different. You have heard it with people like Beyonce. I'm Sasha Fierce. I'm this, I'm that. They're telling you the truth because that is MK Ultra. When I tell you that the sex is not the worst part as far as being a sex slave, it's not. It's MK Ultra. It's being programmed. And if you understood how deep MK Ultra and how deep it goes, this is not just about trafficking. Satanic ritual abuse branches into MK Ultra and dissociative identity disorder after so long, because it's easy to call someone else up within somebody else to do what you need them to do. If you need a sex slave that you wanted to name Ashley, you can program that person, we just talked about this, dripping wax on somebody until they answer the name Ashley. And then the next thing you know, if you even sit a candle next to them, Ashley will come up. It's like the Pavlov rule thing with the doorbell and the dog. If you ring the doorbell and you keep handing them the treat so many times, hand them the treat, ring the doorbell, hand them the treat, they're going to know that once that doorbell rings, it's time to get a treat. It's basic programming. So as far as that picture on the Run This Town video, I honestly do not know. Because 2009, there's a lot that happened. 2009, a lot of us are up. To give you a scale, most of the lives and the videos and the interviews that Allie's done, you've probably seen 10 to 20 different altars in and out at various times. By my count, she has over 200, and that's a very loose count because I've not kept detailed records. So I'm easily off by 100 altars, easily. So just to give you a scale, other altars hold different memories. So in the sense of trauma and in the sense of naming names and in the sense of exposing and whistleblowing, there are at least 200 altars that all hold different memories of different people, of different situations, of different trauma, of different crimes, just so you have a way to gauge what we're talking about. You know, when people say, I went through something and I blacked out, or I don't remember pieces of my childhood, like a good chunk of it, a few years of it is gone, more than likely. Dissociative identity disorder. Your brain went somewhere else and someone else came up. This is not a joke. You see it all around you. You see it with your military men. Basic programming, basic breaking someone down, and it's called building them back into the person that they want them to be. It's in basic programming and basic training with the military soldiers. They will never come home the same that they left. I'm seeing a lot of new people and uneducated people throwing out, oh, she's schizophrenic or she's crazy, she needs mental help. Let me break that down for you. The MK Ultra survivors have high intelligence, and I can tell you right now they are saner than you and I. So don't get caught up in that, oh, it's just a mental health issue or she's schizophrenic. It's none of those things. But I can tell you that survivors are very intelligent. They function at a higher intelligence rate than most of us because that's what holds the programming in place. And they are very sane. You're the one that's lacking the knowledge to understand what they're being, what they're telling you. So don't get twisted on that. Quickly on the DID subject, the Run This Town video, to make this clear, I do not know. But whoever that is does need their justice because their face is covered. So all you guys have for right now is this. Right? There's a bandana on her face. All you have is eyes. What bothers me and what boggles my mind is thank you for believing me, for those who are sharing that and like, I believe her, okay, thank you, but I don't know who that is. I don't even know if it's me, okay? I'm telling you that right now because I don't. So if it comes out who it is, good, that person can get their justice, but I don't know who that is, okay? Number one. Number two, if you guys can do that type of digging for me, if you guys can comb through a music video like that, and it's at somebody said it's at 438 mark, why aren't y'all doing that for the children? Why isn't there that amount of energy for the children? People put time and so much effort into things that detour you from the message. We got people digging in videos, music videos, but when I ask somebody to watch a video of like let's say, the truth of it, then we don't want to watch that. If you can put that much energy in combing through a music video for me, can you please put that much energy in finding out where the kids are and why people are lying to you? You know the Diddy case is turning into the Ghislaine Maxwell case, right? It's about to get swept right up under the rug. We all know that there's many other celebrities that he sold children to and played a part in those parties. That type of energy that you're combing through a video for me for, that's the type of energy that deserves and demands people asking the questions, where the hell were the buses of kids? Y'all heard somebody from Diddy's neighborhood say there's buses that come in at 3 a.m. What kind of bus? What kind of bus? Who's driving the bus? What color was the bus? How many people seen these buses? And where did the children come from and where did they go?
Did the bus take the kids away, or did the kids just never leave?
Why isn't there that amount of energy for children? The amount of outrage that we going back and forth for me because of I am Shelly Carter's daughter. Help you? I got you. There you go. I was adopted at 19 and chosen. Through commitment and hardship, this woman chose me and is taking care of me. And the only reason why I'm sitting here right now is because of God and then because of her. I got you. There you go. My bloodline, I already told you, has some type of some holes to it, and it also has an elite bloodline to it. Duh. Okay. Now that we got that part, but we see Sean Combs' mother talking about, oh, his poor children, that poor black man. Where the hell were you and his children when he was raping somebody else's child? Huh? Everybody wants to pat him on the back all of a sudden. Where was everybody when somebody else's child was being tortured? If we're not just talking about Diddy. Diddy is in the limelight. Is anybody going to demand answers from the list that you already know that you have? Where is the outrage for the children? The same outrage that had George Floyd people in the streets. Where is that outrage? I already know there's no justice for me. We are going through hell, been ran out of 3 places, threatened and outnumbered when we were followed. So now we are calling on angels. If you see us right now, please say something to us. Do not drive in circles around us. Do not snap pictures, because that looks weird. So if you see us, please walk up to me and say something. Because guess what? You can shake my hand and you will see that I am real. You will look at my twin over here and you will see that she is real. There's nothing else past that. We are not celebrities. My pain is not a billboard. My body is no longer for sale, and my voice is not for sale either. Okay? So there's nothing that nobody needs to ooh and ah about. How about we ooh and ah about the fact that we are still going through this shit? Thank you for being grateful just as much as I am that I am alive. I am very grateful to be alive and to still be here. To have the things that I have had, I am grateful for. I have a passion for everything that I do. I love kids. I love what I do. When I was able to be a choreographer. When? My life keeps switching and changing because of my predators. So please don't get so wrapped up in that. But where is the outrage for the kids that are still going through it? Where is the outrage for the kids that the bodies are still in the water? They're no longer here. You won't know their name. You won't know what they sound like. You keep seeing a list. You know who's guilty. Nobody is demanding answers for that. Why is the Ghislaine Maxwell trial so quiet? Everybody rushed and went to that and put up information on that. Did stuff for their social media for content for that. But once they got too quiet, so did they. That's what I'm talking about. If you give a damn about crimes against humanity, and if you give a damn about the kids, you wouldn't shut up about it. It shouldn't just be because it's trending at the moment. It shouldn't just be because there's a celebrity that got caught up. It should be, you should be screaming from the rooftops nonstop if you understood what we are saying. As a victim, I stopped for a minute. I stopped screaming. I wasn't screaming on the internet. I was screaming in life, in real life. You met us on the internet, but if you go into files, documents, legal documents, and so much more from the get, if you went and talked to people that hung out with us before, they would tell you, yeah, I knew she was a trafficking victim. She always kept that quiet. It caused more problems for her. Her and her mom, they would be somewhere and then they would just dip. And they wouldn't tell anybody. Because they said it would cause more problems. And now here we are. Where's your outrage for the victims that are going through this now? Because I'm 30. We are sitting 15 years later from my worst year. What do you think a child is going through right now? Because I pray that one day that those children can sit 15 years later and say, I made it. Does it mean that hell is over? No. Freedom is never free. You should know that yourself too, because your justice system is rigged. If you went through this storm, you know damn well your justice system is rigged. We pass in thousands, trillions, billions of dollars to other countries. But when it comes to ours and in your own backyard, when the roofs are falling off and the trees are falling over and there's nobody that can get water, power, anything for that matter, then you got $750. But they're passing billions and trillions to other countries. You should see that the justice system is rigged. If you got caught up in this man-made storm that 1 minute was a category 5 and then it turned into a 3 and then it turned back up like somebody is moving a machine. It's real. And you know it too. Look up HAARP. HAARP. It's not a joke. This is your world. This is your reality. Everybody want to go watch a horror movie? You want to be scared for October? I scare you. Your reality is scary. Your reality is scarier than a horror movie. If anything, art is a reflection of life. Wake up, please. Because if you have this energy to go back and forth for nonsense, then you got that energy to help somebody's child. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take a fundraiser. You don't need an organization. You don't need somebody to help you to organize it for you. Just get up and do something. And the same amount of energy that you put into things on the internet, you can do that for a child that's going through this shit right now. Do you understand that if you put that much outrage and that much energy demanding answers from the people who are on that list, you know how things would move and turn and the tides would change? Because you sign everybody's paycheck. We all do. That's why I said it's not just a red problem. It's not just a blue problem. We all guilty. Everybody can say, I didn't know. And at one point, because I didn't know, I enabled it. Now that you know, stop it. Now that you know, do the right thing. That's it, and that's all. By the way, I think this is going to come up again soon. There are entrances and exits in the water. Has anybody ever heard that saying, watch the water? There's entrances and exits in the water. Why do you think they have submarines? They got underwater freeways. It looks like a driveway. Those submarines go into an underwater driveway so they can get through an underwater tunnel so that they can travel and transport very quickly. This is not a game. And this is not, you don't need to pick a side to understand that crimes against humanity is wrong. I thank you for praying for us. I thank you for supporting us. We have gotten hell in the last few days. I don't care. You take your best shot, because I will continue to try to move towards my peace as much as I can, but I'd be damned if you're going to change me. It's not going to happen. there's a lot of attorneys that there's some attorneys that are coming towards us right now, and I just have to question, what exactly are you going to do? Because there's some people who are headed towards us right now that things are trending, and I'm telling you right now that some of the people that are heading towards us, you've had our social media and stuff for a really long time. So it makes me back the hell up and stop for a second when I see that somebody is like, hey, all of a sudden, give me all of your information. You think I trust you? Do you think I'm supposed to trust you? Where were you? Why? Now, because it's trending for Diddy? We already did a case with CPS attorneys in, I think, 2021 or 22. Like I said, I'm not positive of the date. Don't quote me. But we just did one. It took 8 months. We gave them so much evidence. They said, you have case after case after case after case. But then they dropped it after a certain point because it got to the wrong hands. So why would I trust some people to just hand you some evidence?
And for what?
Yeah, for what? We're not.
If you have Diddy's information and his videos and you see Ali there, call up, shoot a text. Is that you? Yep, that's me. Prosecute him. There doesn't need to be anything else. We don't have an attorney. We have no plans to have an attorney. We are not suing anybody. We will never sue anybody. We don't get down like that. That's childish. We don't get down like that. There's no amount of money that's going to change anything.
And then there's no, put a gag order on what? Put a gag order. You know that people, the stuff that's going on with Diddy, they're about to put a gag order on everything. That means that it can't be presented to the public. Oh, so you can expose children to the public. You can expose a child's every bit of their soul naked and vulnerable to everybody else. But when it comes down to being in trouble for it, everybody gets to close it down and hide it? Huh?
Nope.
So there's videos of children and people floating around on the internet for the predators that decided to post everything to the public. But the second that it's time to make it known to everybody, then we're going to shut it down and close it to private. No.
Y'all need to be demanding that the courts open up. You guys need to be able to see what they're doing. That needs to be transparent.
No.
Nobody deserves to be protected in situations like this.
Ghislaine Maxwell, you don't deserve privacy. P. Diddy, Sean Combs, you don't deserve privacy. Oprah doesn't deserve her privacy. None of them deserves privacy. What was supposed to be private in somebody else's soul, you made public. You tore it apart and then you mocked it in public. And then when it's time to talk about it, you want it to be private. Bullshit. And for those of you who are okay with that, you're proud of your silence. Those of you who will not stop shouting, release that shit, you understand. If you have a big platform and yet all you do is just trend information and regurgitate it, shame on you. What you should be doing is moving people to action, because it doesn't matter how many people are watching this live right now. I don't give a damn about numbers and how many, I don't care. Numbers don't mean a damn thing if that's not the same amount of numbers that's fighting for the truth. Everybody was in the streets for George Floyd, a grown man. Everybody was in the streets for Kobe Bryant, a grown man. Why is the streets not covered for children? There should be an outrage. Somebody was talking about, oh, Diddy's kids. Okay. Why wasn't anybody concerned about the kids that he was raping, abusing, using? Hello? There's a double standard. And a lot of people fall into the double standard because a lot of people on the internet try to make sure and steer you guys into that direction. No, don't look at this, look at this. Don't keep talking about the children because that's too much for people. They can't take that. Don't keep talking about what's really happening at that party because it wasn't a tea party, was it? Did they pick those kids up to color? Did they pick those kids up to spend time with them? No. They abused them. What do you think happened in all those places that these children were abused? They weren't sitting there singing songs of their music, were they? No, they wrote about exactly what they did to them after they were done. And then they called it a song or a hit. And then you bounce into it and not realizing that the music is their diary. Where have all the children gone? Why isn't anybody angry? And some people are, I'm angry. I am angry. Okay, do something. Demand answers. Do something. And the last thing that I'm going to say before we go is I know somebody is running interference for us. Thank you. I'm not stupid. I got that. Somebody's doing it. Because what we hold in our hands right now to speak to you is a tracker. Duh. We could Faraday bag things all day. That doesn't matter. Duh. For the last year, it seems like somebody's been running major interference. Thank you. But can you give us more than something? Can we get another message? Because we drowning over here. It's a lot. My PTSD is out of control. Okay? And I'm going to keep fighting. I never said I would stop. You can bet you everything that I will take my dying breath on this hill. Thank y'all for praying for us. There will be no accidental car accidents. There will be no fires. There will be no overdoses. There is nothing in this car that cannot be accounted for. We are not carrying any weapons. We are not suicidal. We do not incite any violence. And everything has been recorded for quality assurance purposes. Every phone call that we've had with somebody has been recorded for quality assurance purposes. There's a thing that's called one-party law. Look it up. I'm not stupid. I've been burned so much that I've protected myself in every single way. If something happens to us, it'll drop all over the world like candy. I don't know. There's nobody to give it to. You are. You. That's watching you. Hello. Hi. You guys are the first responders to this war. Our authority is rigged. The people who are supposed to be in power, they're not praying over Americans. They're not praying over the people out of this country. They're P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. There may be some good people, but they're very few and far in between. There's some of you who say like, hey, can I give you a mic? You want to do a show? You want to do a live event? Show me who you are. Because some people are just doing it to get something out of it. I'm not taking a mic from anybody. I will try my best to keep doing what we are doing to get our voice and our truth out there. But I'm a little bit leery right now about taking a mic from anybody. Because I don't see. I got to see it from somebody. I don't see it yet.
If you pay attention, there's some people that are speaking up on, a couple that got started speaking up on larger platforms. They get set up. We got set up. Like, that's why we initially backed up and stopped doing interviews. You don't understand what... 20 years ago, if you would have told me, I would have said, yeah, go take an interview and join up with the other survivors and go do this, because that's how I thought things worked. That's not how things work. There's blood in the water. It's like trying to navigate shark-infested waters to do anything, to speak anywhere, which is why we just backed up and started speaking where we're at, on our own platform, and then letting it just go from there. And that's about the safest way. But You have no idea. Even if it looks like somebody's helping survivors and on their side and giving you a microphone and a public audience, there's a setup. There's things behind that. So it's really hard for survivors to speak up.
You know that saying, drain the swamp? Does anybody really know how thick swamp is? I know my people, folks from Louisiana, down there in the South, they know how thick a swamp is. Do you know how thick a swamp is? Look it up. Research it. From the animals to the mud to the debris, do you know how thick a swamp is? One minute you think everything is fine, and then you'll find some more in the swamp. It's a lot. It's a lot.
A lot of people focus on if there's white hats and black hats. There's also gray hats.
Yeah. So we gotta go, but we'll be back soon. Insurance be on yellow. I need a second to see some things. If you are an angel that has counted the cost and you're willing to stand with us, and I mean presence, that's powerful. I don't want anybody's money. I don't need anything but your presence. We might need some witnesses soon. And we just mean, hey, move with us if we need to move. And I mean, like, if we are driving for a good 4 hours and we know that somebody else is on our tail, then we just need you to drive right behind us, so that way when we do pull over, we have a witness. We got a few things going on that we just not stupid, but what can we do? What can we do? So, thank you for demanding answers. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing this everywhere. And we hope to talk to y'all sooner than later. Love you guys. Bye.